This is an overview of the module of all the lessons that are based on practicing the skills to develop your relationship network deep canvassing muscle. We're going to suggest that you try to spend 2 or 3 days on each of these skills. We're going to give them to you progressively. Now, we know that y'all going to do what you want to do, but we suggest you spend a couple of days on each one learning them progressively because they build on each other, and it's often easier to learn one thing at a time. Here's how it's going to flow. The first thing we're going to work on is your self-regulation muscle. Now, this is difficult to do in a context where you disagree. Black folks have had to do that for a long time. But now we're at the point in development of society where there are specific things we know to do that are helpful. So the point is to figure out what are the specific actions that help you the most as you're trying to stay calm in the midst of a conversation with disagreement. The second muscle we're going to work on is related to inquiring. It's related to asking questions. It's related to listening to things you disagree with and paraphrasing back so people know that you're heard. Now, everybody thinks they're a good listener. It's like driving, where 80% of people think they're above average drivers and only 1% think they're below average. So whether you think you're a good listener or not, we suggest that you spend a few days working on your listening. You can work on listening for the rest of your life, but spend a few days focused on it. We're going to give you specific guidance as to how to develop your listening muscle. The third muscle is the most difficult, and that is expressing agreement in the midst of disagreement. So again, we will suggest you spend a few days at least working on that, perhaps on non-political topics. But the point is to figure out what you have to do so that you can express some agreement with something, even if you're disagreeing with somebody in the bigger picture. The fourth skill is the least difficult, but still important, and because it goes against our impulses, and that is to tell our perspective through stories and not through facts and data and analysis. So that's the outline. So for now, you can start thinking about what are situations, work situations, home situations, particular friends, that it's a good atmosphere to start working on these skills of calming down, listening, finding agreement within disagreement, and so on. So the election is coming. We ain't got all year. We want to get rolling. On the other hand, it is useful to get ready. You can look at this as like a boot camp, like a relationship networking boot camp, like spring training in baseball. You do it because we want you to be more effective at working those muscles so that when it comes time to really persuading people to vote or to vote differently, you can be ready. Relationship deep canvas networking can be fun, but to be effective, it is also some work. So we want you to be ready to do it. If you like the content of this video, please press like or subscribe, because that helps the algorithm push it out to more people who might want to see it. Anything you do in support, whether it's a like or a subscribe or a share or even a small financial contribution to this self-funded project, is helpful in making sure we can continue this important work of spreading compassion for the sake of democracy.